Welcome to the Glacial Experience of a lifetime. Here is the most important piece of weathering that you will come across. It is called frost shattering or freeze thaw. This is where water gets into small cracks of the rock, and then it freezes when it gets cold in places like when it's overnight or in the winter. It freezes and it can expand by around 10% of its original size, making the crack bigger. Making the crack bigger and therefore opening it up.
This causes a piece of rock to break off into smaller pieces. Freeze thaw weathering.
Done now.
Yes. After it's frozen, it then needs to thaw. Now you can see that the water has thawed and has left the crack, but the crack has been left open and damaged, and so the crack is bigger than it was before the water froze.
The process can happen again.
The process can now happen again.
Welcome to the Dolomites in Italy. Here we have a rock that is full of calcium carbonate. When CO2 dissolves in cold water, which is especially, this happens in places because it's usually cold water, and goes on the rock, it basically fills a weak carbonic acid with the calcium carbonate to form calcium bicarbonate. This causes the rock to erode in like a chemical weathering. Look at that, all eroded.
Oh no, that's all eroded.
Chemical weathering, carbonation.
Here's a mountain. The next process of erosion that we're going to be demonstrating is called nevation. This is where it snows and snow patches go onto the mountain or on the rock face or on the side of the rock. And underneath these small patches of snow, it starts to nevate, which is almost the same as freeze thaw. And so underneath the snow, it will freeze and create small cracks in the side of the mountain, and those small cracks will start to develop because the water goes into them and then freezes and expands by about 10%. This water will then, on the side of the mountain, thaw, and that thawing will bring the meltwater and all of the debris that's on the side of the mountain that the meltwater has created, and it will wash the debris away, basically eroding the mountain and bringing bits of the mountain off, as we can see there. Abrasion is where two rocks rub against each other, forming both of them to smoothen out. You can see that as this rock moves over the other one, it smoothens this one, but also creates grooves in it. And so scientists and geologists can use this groove and show which direction the abrasion is moving in and how the land is formed and where it's come from. And that's abrasion. It smooths out and creates grooves. Oh. Plucking is where there's a large landmass with rocks on the side of the rock, and ice comes down and isolates this rock here, and it freezes, comes around the rock, and as it freezes, it kind of isolates the rock and makes it come apart, and then it obviously travels away and erodes away from the... It's a little baby rock.
And it's better with previously weathered rocks.
Better with previously weathered rocks.
Two rocks grind against each other, and this causes... Oh, sorry, Connor. Sorry. We probably should have done this with other people, isn't it? grind together to make rock flour, like these little specks coming off here.
Wow.
That's it really. Sorry guys, thanks for doing that jumping. That's rock flour.
There's going to be no Play-Doh was harmed in the making of these videos whatsoever, I promise.
Yeah.